It's a sport viewed as barbaric, an almost anything goes style of fighting that can make the strongest souls cringe.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the cage. Warriors enter this blood-stained battleground.
Yet amidst the chaos and violence, undefeated mixed martial arts fighter Sara McMann does not flinch. A place like the cage does not intimidate her because she's already been through hell.
Only those willing to sacrifice everything
will walk away victorious. Fighting is the only chance for survival.
My older brother wrestled since I was 3 years old. Jason was the kind of guy that was good at every single sport that he ever did.
He was very lovable, he was very protective, and he was annoying.
Thanks to Jason's influence, wrestling became a natural fit for Sara, even when at most times she was the only girl in the gym. After high school, she was offered a scholarship at the University of Minnesota-Morris, where she took her place on the Cougars wrestling team.
I went to Minnesota because at that time it was the only women's college that had wrestling, and I had a pretty good year.
Sara's career was just beginning when on a bitter night in early January 1999, her big brother and lifelong wrestling partner went to a house party near the campus of Lock Haven University in Pennsylvania and never returned home.
We got into a fight. Everyone already told us what happened. We already knew he was dead. It was just a matter of where was his body.
As more time passed, you got that sinking feeling was just staying there all the time.
It was 3 agonizing months before Jason's body was discovered by 2 joggers. He had succumbed to hypothermia after being jumped, brutally beaten, and left in sub-zero temperatures. The McManns had received closure, but Jason's killers were still on the loose.
As far as Sara's brother being murdered in Lock Haven, it's a small town, and everybody in our community was aware of it. It was big news in a small town.
3 years later, an arrest was finally made in Jason's case, and in 2004, former Lock Haven University football player Fabian Smart was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison, though the McManns found little solace in the conviction.
Well, it's been 11 years. I think at first it was probably really hard for Sara. I'm probably gonna imagine it was probably even harder just because she looked up to him and he was very protective of her. Wow. I don't actually cry about it a lot.
In the blue corner, at a steadfast 5 feet 5 3/4 she weighed in at a concrete 136 pounds. She's perseverance personified, fearlessness electrified, and courageousness amplified.
As Lock Haven's first ever female wrestler, Sara set the bar for women across the country, and during the peak of her career, she was named to the 2004 Women's U.S. Olympic Wrestling Team.
It was kind of neat that women's wrestling became an Olympic sport right during her prime.
Under the spotlight in Athens, Sara muscled her way through the first 2 rounds with ease, but was unable to secure enough points to take the win over Japan's Kairi Icho. She had just become the first woman in U.S. Olympic history to win a silver medal in wrestling, but it was not the gold Sara had set out for.
I had literally just lost 2 minutes before that, and they're putting you up on the podium, and they want you to be happy, you know, but I wanted gold, so I wasn't. As much as what the silver medal means to me, looking back now, knowing that I gave absolutely everything I could. I literally gave my absolute best, and so I'm proud of that.
One of Sara's biggest supporters in Athens was her fiancé, Stephen Blackford. The two had met at a wrestling training center in Arizona and had plans to start a family.
Steve was the kind of guy, you could talk to him for 20 minutes and people would come back and feel really extremely close to him. He's just one of those people that touched every single person that he met.
He was a great balance for Sara, and he kind of reminded me of my brother.
So we were going to both move to DC, and basically we were going to just start building our life out there.
When I talked to Sara right after the Olympics, it was the happiest I've ever seen or heard her. That's when the accident happened.
After picking Steve up from the airport, Sara was behind the wheel driving through the small town of Brush, Colorado. The tire of her Jeep Cherokee suddenly caught the edge of the pavement and sent the truck careening. Neither was wearing a seatbelt. When authorities arrived, they found Sara's Jeep had rolled several times. Lying by the roadside, she was suffering from a multitude of injuries and had been knocked unconscious. Stephen Blackford, however, could not be revived and was pronounced dead at the scene.
When I first heard about it, I was like, geez, how much can one person take?
I wanted to just be with Steve. Wherever he was, whatever was going on, I didn't want to be where I was. I'd rather be with him. So that was like predominant thought for about 4 months.
It was horrible because I wanted to be there for Sara, but it was something she had to come around to let other people in when she was ready.
Missing Steve and my brother, like, the biggest thing is both of them bring so much light into your life. I miss that, you know, like, the world is a different place and not as awesome because they're not there to make it a little bit brighter.
As Sara was once again forced to deal with the icy abyss of losing a loved one, her passion for wrestling dwindled. After failing to make the 2008 Olympic squad, she abandoned her wrestling career and turned her attention to the octagon. Mixed martial arts had become her new obsession.
Competition is competition. I didn't feel like somebody who was really that new and fresh at it. It was a different skill set, but it wasn't like I didn't decide to become a ballerina.
Sara's decision to become a professional MMA fighter presented a new challenge. Her strong wrestling background could only take her so far in the cage. In order to be a champion, she would have to become a master in martial arts techniques from all across the globe.
She definitely puts a lot of hours in the gym. I think to Sara, it's not working out. This is her job, this is her career, this is what she does.
The time dedicated to her body is what gives Sara the power to dominate in the ring, but it's her knowledge and sheer willpower that turn her into a lethal fighter.
She's getting to the point now that she is not just a wrestler. She is a mixed martial artist. She can dictate where the fight goes. You know, she could stay standing or she could take it to the ground if she wants.
To the canvas, Sara McMann!
Sara's aggression in the octagon has allowed her to be successful throughout her violent career. Yet these days, her fiercest passion is for her 3-year-old daughter, Bella.
Bella is like the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Steve wanted to name our first daughter Bella, so I think that's something that was really important to me to pass on a little bit of my previous life into my new life.
You know, we're both pretty hard-headed people, but I think from that day on, we just both realized that when it comes to important things in our life, she's it.
This fighter, she knows pain, but pain is temporary. Success is legendary. This woman does not bend and will not break.
She's not a quitter. I think she really loves what she does, and I believe that maybe somewhere deep down, this is still helping her heal in a weird kind of way. It's her way of venting.
She's fought her entire life to be standing here tonight.
Some of the things she's went through in her life, obviously, a lot of people might have quit. But that's why she is who she is. That's why she doesn't quit in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the most feared bantamweight woman in the world, Sara McMann.
I'm not the person I am despite of my obstacles. I'm the person I am because of them.